Alright, this right here is the Razer Wolverine Ultimate Controller. It's the controller I've been using with Apex for the past couple of months. And we're talking about how I have these paddles set up on the back and 2 bumpers on the top. So let's get into it. Okay, real quick. So what you're going to want to do is download this app before you do anything. The Razer Wolverine Ultimate app. I think it's called Razer Synapse. Go ahead and download that app so that way you're able to remap all the buttons and the paddles and stuff. Okay, so basically I use slot 1, and on the assign buttons tab, this is the way I got my paddles and the 2 bumpers set up. So you can pause the video and copy these settings if you want. Okay, in the lighting tab, that's pretty much preference. You can set that any way you want. Focus, I don't use this at all. You can if you want. It just makes it to where I think it slows down your analog sticks. Agile, it does the opposite. It speeds them up. I don't use these 2 at all. I don't find them useful because the sense that I use in Apex. So again, preference. And vibration, I have it off. Alright, so I'm going to try and go over this as thoroughly as I can. Let me know if I miss anything. I put up the hand cam right here. It's not the best quality, but it'll help get my point across. And then I also put the overlay on. That way there's 2 methods of understanding the way that I set this up. Okay, so starting off, the M1 button, if you guys can see it right here, this first button, I have that binded to scroll wheel, or I guess the emote wheel. It just makes things so much easier, I guess, in game to be hitting that one instead. Secondly, I have M2, the second extra bumper. I have this binded to the ping wheel.
Might be something good this way.
That way, whenever I'm ADSing, I could basically just hit that button to ping enemies. Now keep in mind, I do play claw when I hold my controller. I hold it like this, and makes it a lot easier. None of these configurations help with movement whatsoever. It's all just to make, I guess, the technical side of Apex a lot easier, but none of this is for movement. So moving forward, I only use one side of the paddles on the back. It's M3 and M5. I don't use M4 or M6. These extra paddles could be used for anything. That's up to you. So M3 right here, I use this for the nades. If I click it, my nades come up, and if I hold it, the nade wheel comes up, so you can switch between nades. This is super useful when you're like moving around, and pretty much you just hold it with your index finger, your whatever finger you want to use. Just pretty much hold it, and you could scroll through all your nades that you have. Right below it, it's M5, and I use M5 for heals. So it's the same thing. You just pretty much you hit it, you can heal it automatically, or if you hold it, you can choose your heals. Again, super useful when you're moving around the map and you need to heal really fast. Switch to your shields, something you can't do if you don't have paddles. Or you can, but it makes it a lot harder when you're just using a regular Xbox controller or PS4. So going over everything, M1 is set to the emote wheel. M2 is set to ping. So M2 here, M1 here. And then the paddles on the back, which is on the left side, your left hand. M3 is for your nades. And then M5 is for the heals or shields. I'm going to go ahead and go over the button layout that I have. I'm on customized. Crouch, I have it set to RB. Tactical, I have it set to B. Ping, I have it set to LB. And my melee, I have it set to the right analog stick. So what this does essentially is whenever I am aiming in with the left trigger, I pretty much have to hit M2, which is the button I map to ping, which is LB. So these 2 are pretty much the same button. I've mapped this one to the left bumper, and so whenever I'm aiming in, I can hit M2, and it makes it so much easier to ping. So that's why I mapped this one to left bumper. So I have the right bumper set to crouch, so that way it makes it so much easier to spam crouch whenever I'm shooting somebody or somebody's shooting me, and it also makes it so much easier to bunny hop with this. So try it out. Alright, so that's pretty much the end of this video. I hope it helped in some way. Again, this is the Razer Wolverine Ultimate Controller. Definitely recommend picking one of these up, and thanks for hanging out.